Oh boy, it's been a bit since I've done this. It is your rambling manager back, and I had this random idea for Death Stranding because I'm an action guy, and I have nothing against the whole Amazon delivery vibe that Death Stranding gives off. I thought it was really great. I loved, hiking across vast distances with the cargo. If anything, the earlier bits felt a lot better and interesting. It was once you start adding like more shit like roads and trucks and zip lines and the mountains and all that stuff, it did get a little bit complicated and, in my opinion, a bit unnecessary. But one thing that I thought was rather lacking was the action, primarily against the BT units. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this before in the previous Death Stranding videos, but fuck it, might as well get it off my chest now. I wish there was more enemy variety because in terms of like the base combat, like yes, primarily we get up against mules or the terrorists later on in the game, but those are just like a few and far in between. It's like there are a couple base camps and that's it. Now, as for like the actual normal BTs, you face them like during stealth segments whenever it's raining. You gotta sneak past them. And later on in the game, spoilers, you get yourself a knife that allows you to cut the umbilical cord that connects you to that connects the BTs to that world. And you can slash them, get a little bit of chiral crystals, and wipe them out of that area. It's no problem. Helps you get through it a lot quicker as opposed to just having to go left and right and around them. But Um, beyond that, once you get caught or you decide to get caught, because you can get a shit ton of chiral crystals by defeating the mini boss from those BT areas. Who do you face really? You face a big giant doggo, and you face a whale. And I'm sorry, but I don't think that's kind of a worthwhile enemy type. I feel like there should have been way more. Now, obviously, during the story segments, you face up against, say, the BT soldiers during the wartime segments against Clifford Unger, but that's the thing. They're only through story beats. There's no like actual enemies you could fight or choose to fight during the main segment, like during like the open world segments of the game. And my idea to like add in some extra variety in combat scenarios would be to like, maybe switch up who you can face in the BT zones. Like if you decide to go run through them instead of trying to be sneaky, spawn in some like maybe smaller enemies. Like have those floating guys just come down, maybe sap you with some sort of like goo or energy blast, but they're like smaller amounts, so they won't knock you down necessarily, but they could stun you and damage you and BB. It'd be a great way to change it up because whenever you're facing against those bigger guys, it's really hard to maneuver against them, especially because typically when they grab you and like drag you under the tar, you end up losing your gear and BB gets really fucking agitated and upset. Having like that smaller type of enemy you could choose to go up against could be more. Again, it just adds in more variety, so to speak. And from there, like a whole rework should be in order. Because let's just say you get caught and they start attacking you. Like some of them like should spawn like a big giant puddle that just pop up, and you gotta take them out. And if you could try getting the cover or try running around so they can't get a good shot on you, that could work. Give you enough time, retaliate and fight back. And if you take them out, with, like the blood rounds, okay, you can get small amounts of chiral crystals, and maybe so you could still go up against the boss battle or like the mini battle. There'll be like a timer of sorts, or like there'll be a certain amount of waves you have to go up against. Like maybe you'll get like some sort of like feeling in your gut, like a flash of light, or like an intense like tunnel vision, and after a couple of them, boom, then the big guy will come out and attack you. Yes, it'll require more resources, but this is where there could be like a fight or flight type of thing. In case you don't want to sneak by it, you can go in there as is, take out a couple of them, take out that initial wave before you can just, start running and try to escape that way. So you can bypass the whole stealth segment, but actually make the most of those weapons. Because, if you're an experienced porter, and you know how to get through those segments, 9 times out of 10, you don't even have to bring weapons with you. You don't have to craft them at all. The only time you would really have to craft weapons is if there's like a particular mission or side mission that takes you through a camp, and oh, you'll just craft yourself a non lethal assault rifle because that's the only real weapon that you can use. But you can go a step farther than that, right? You can add in way more variety of enemies. You can add in, the classical rook type of enemy of machine guns. Maybe you could add in like some faster spider-like enemies that could try like charging you to attach to you. Maybe they could like try removing some of your pieces of cargo off of you or damage you, and like various other things. Because again, just like the lacking of like enemy types is really, it leaves a sour taste in my mouth for a guy that prefers action above all else. Given Kojima did say this was a Strand type of game and that action wasn't at the forefront, but it'd just be nice if there was like more enemies you can fight to utilize these different weapons. And again, I can't recall if I mentioned in my previous video, but again, just give us the option to have a sniper rifle. Like there's rocket launchers, there's pistols, there's machine guns, there's a shotgun, but there's not a single sniper rifle. Now, of course, if there was a sniper rifle, that would obviously take away like the up close risk of having to get up to the enemy to take them out. But what better way to protect yourself and more importantly than your life itself, but the cargo, than using a sniper rifle? I could easily see there be like different tiers of sniper rifles, especially if like higher level tiers, it does more damage, they're more accurate, they're faster firing. You could definitely use those to take out some people. I mean, fucking hell, imagine if during the stealth segments, if you're far enough away, you could just snipe the floating fucking BTs and call it a day. Because personally, I never tried shooting them with a blood weapon like during the stealth segments, but imagine you just use a sniper rifle and just pick off their heads and there you go. Be kind of fucking cool. But I don't know, that's just me. I guess that's why, they add in, like, the fucking training range. Like, the weapon shooting range in the director's cut. But, come on. Simulated feelings are completely different than the real thing. Given we're simulating itself because it's, it's a video game. It's a simulation. But a simulation in a simulation? No, thank you. But I just wanted to bring that little idea. Beyond that, like in terms of additional enemy types or conditions to spawn BTs, who knows? There could be various things. But of course, like the real reason why you do it is again to, spawn in more chiral crystals, which even then, like they're only mainly useful for what? Roads? A couple of weapons? That's pretty much it. But who knows? Maybe they could add in some more rewards. Given whenever like that shit disappears, like stuff comes up, and like like the lures that like those tar pits are like supposed gateways to other time periods. If I recall, it's been a bit since I played the game. But who knows? Maybe like by doing like as an extra reward for taking out extra BTs, maybe some extra equipment and items can spawn, like extra fucking packages to deliver or extra resources for the roads or your weapons or god forbid equipment itself. It could be a way to encourage you to fight as opposed to going out across the world. But I know once again that goes against the principle of what Death Stranding is for, but this is just for the action nuts that want to pull off a few extra shots and act like fucking Rambo here for FedEx drivers. But that's all I wanted to bring up. Been a minute since I've done a rambling here. I'm kind of running out of ideas here, so to speak, but who knows, maybe some more ideas will strike me as time goes on. But beyond that, usual chant, like, subscribe, comment, whatever. Let me know what, enemy types you'd want to add into, like, the supposed revamp, combat scenario for Death Stranding, how maybe you would want to attack some people if you're a fighter in that particular world. Beyond that, I'm done with this fucking rambling. Manager's clocking out. Bye.